And I'll begin the questioning, and I'll direct this first question to Mr. Botello and Mr. Judd. Yesterday, White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest challenged Republicans, stating that if they are truly concerned about border security, we should back the comprehensive immigration reform package that passed the Senate last year and is strongly supported by President Obama. Unfortunately, these statements show the administration's lack of understanding of this issue. Its failure to secure our borders, mitigate threats to national security, or enforce our immigration laws only undermines Congress' ability to reform our immigration laws. Further, the Senate bill does not contain any provisions that address the problems in current law that would allow us to more effectively address the current surge at the southern border. We could line Border Patrol agents shoulder to shoulder at the southern border, and it would not matter due to this administration's policies. Isn't the point of apprehending aliens to ensure their return to their home countries, not to provide them a golden ticket into the United States? And I'll start with you, Mr. Botello, and then go to Mr. Judd.
I'm not sure.
The question is, isn't the point of your job of apprehending illegal aliens to ensure that they return to their home countries, not to provide them a golden ticket into the United States?
It is the work of the Border Patrol to interdict people who enter between the ports of entry illegally, yes.
Thank you. Mr. Judd?
The question needs to be asked, why are they entering between the ports of entry? Why aren't they just going to the ports of entry? It'd be easier. It'd be a lot less dangerous. Our job, again, if we line our border and we're arresting these people, and taking our manpower out of the field, we're opening up holes for criminal cartels. That's what we're doing.
So the administration's alleged commitment to border security is irrelevant because the way the laws are written and because of the administration's credible fear of persecution and asylum policies, the more Border Patrol agents we send to the border, the more opportunities that aliens have to turn themselves over to them so that they can then be released into the country on the promise of appearing at an immigration court hearing years down the road. Is that an accurate summary of the situation your agents face?
Our agents are arresting these individuals, and we turn them over, and what happens to them from there, we're seeing what's happening to them for there, but again, from an enforcement standpoint, if we arrest them and we're just letting them go, we're going to continue to see more.
And let me ask you this. While 47,000, according to these charts, unaccompanied alien minors have arrived in the first 6 months of this year, it's not just unaccompanied alien minors who are arriving. Adults taking along minors are also coming. Since 2011, the number of apprehended individuals comprising family units has increased from 13,000 to 42,000 for this year as of June 16th. Taking into account just half of this year, we've seen a 143% increase in families apprehended at the border since 2012. DHS has less than 100 beds for family detention, meaning that these families are usually released. Additionally, family members of these youth who arrived earlier may have received prosecutorial discretion and work authorization. To what extent do you think this has caused families to come to the United States in violation of the law? And I think maybe more appropriately I should direct that question to you, Mr. Homan. The question is, to what extent do you think that the families who have arrived earlier may have received prosecutorial discretion and work authorization has caused families to come to the United States in violation of the law?
Well, I can't speculate on why everybody's entering the country. I defer to Border Patrol because they do the interview of the subjects when they enter the country, and they're processing them. I only know what I read. I haven't had the direct contact with the aliens.
And when they do enter, however, you only have 100 beds for them. Is that correct?
I have 96 beds.
96 beds for this year, 42,000 people. That's kind of cramped, isn't it?
I have 96 family beds is all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Crane, you want to add anything to that?
I guess, sir, I would just say that it's ridiculous. There's no way that we can do our jobs, that we can enforce the laws of the United States if we don't have bed space to hold people that we apprehend in, period.
And Mr. Homan, let me ask you one more question. We understand that you're a career law enforcement official, and we thank you for that. We're just trying to understand the operational realities associated with poor policy decisions. Part of the White House's mantra on this matter is that everyone is being put into removal proceedings. Yet, as reported by the New York Times this weekend, that doesn't really mean much when some will wait years for their first court date. Then there will be procedural moving and posturing that will last years, even if the aliens show up for their court dates, which many will not. By the time a removal order is issued, won't these individuals be so low on the totem pole for removal that ICE's stated priorities that they'll never actually be under the stated priorities of ICE, that they'll never actually be removed? Is that the case?
I can say that every unaccompanied child and every family unit member are served with NTAs and scheduled to be put in front of an immigration judge, and so that they have their proceedings scheduled, but it is years out. I mean, there's a lack of immigration judges, so some of these hearings take years. It can take 2 years, it can take 5 years.
In fact, isn't it true that ICE has only been able to remove less than 2,000 unaccompanied alien minors per year since 2011, as we've seen this surge taking place?
Yes, last year we removed 1,800, but again, as I said about the immigration courts, when we looked at all the unaccompanied alien children that were, NTAs were filed with the immigration court in the last 5 years, 87% of them are still in proceedings. We have no final orders.
Thank you.